Howdy, it's Ted, host, your power weapon on Urban Smart Network. Every Monday night we are here at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Coast time and 10 o'clock p.m. East Coast time. And all y'all in the middle, you know what you got to do. Y'all go and friend us, join our Facebook, Twitter, tell your family, your friends, your associates about your power. Now, I put power in quotations now. I don't want nobody, rather, I put weapon in quotations now because I want nobody to think we're talking about physical weapon. We're talking about the weapon of your mind and the weapon of the Constitution and the 14th Amendment Civil Rights Act of 1866. Our show is based on the Emancipation Proclamation and the 1866 Civil Rights Act of the 14th Amendment, which is the federal White House super citizenship of black citizens. And basically, you're going to find out at one time we were chattel slaves of this country, living human property, but you're going to find out through this program that we are actually America's living national treasure. And we're going to get into it tonight. We got a very special guest with us. We got the regular host that's with us, Keith Hardeen, my co-host, and Ken the Unicorn, and perhaps Louisa join up with us later on. But we have a very special guest. I won't talk about him right now. I'm going to come back in a minute. But we're going to talk about Tyrone Massey tonight. Y'all remember Tyrone Massey? We talked about him last week. Nora Massey, one of our contributors, son. He's still in a coma. Last time I talked with Nora, his right side is still... I'm sorry, he's out of coma. He's just laying there, but his right side, I think, is paralyzed. And so what I'm going to be doing, she's talking to the lawyers and folks. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to create for her a GoFundMe page. And if anybody got any good ideas to help us with that, but I'll tell you more about that as time goes on. But you know, folks, I'm not troubled, but I am deeply concerned about the direction that our country is taking very rapidly, particularly as it relates to us black citizens in this matter of homelessness, because I've been sounding the horn out here in LA really loud. Y'all gonna hear about more of this, that I'm saying, and I'm questioning the likelihood that this homeless thing is so out of control that they're going to dispatch the United States military, National Guard units to round these folks up and take them outside of town and quarantine them indefinitely in the name of public health and safety, COVID variants, Omnicom, or whatever they call them. They're going to come after us. And I'm also concerned about us, the fact that we black folks not taking this vaccine, 70% of us not taking the vaccine. And today I went to have sushi with a friend of mine at lunch, Japanese restaurant, immigrants, and she was an immigrant German. And did you know, because I did not have my vac papers, they did not let my black ass in tonight. This keeps on happening, folks, and it is growing and growing and growing. And here at Your Power Weapon on UrbanSmartNetwork.com, we're going to be organizing and coalescing all of the body politics across America that are black citizens to join with us. And Louise, who you meet later, we are organizing all the non-black folks as well throughout California to join this effort that we're putting together. And Urban Smart Network, your power weapon. Now, look, I got surprised today. I've talked to this young man a couple times on the telephone, and so our engineer, the producer Bob, they're good friends, the co-owners, and he got Mike Jones. Y'all remember that name? Mike, say his name. Mike Jones. Mike Jones is a co-owner of this platform, Urban Smart Network. He is an entrepreneur, and we're going to talk to this brother, and he'll tell you more about who he is on Your Power Weapon. This is Ted, your host on Urban Smart Network. But first, hold on, Keith. Say hello to the people, brother.
Howdy, what's up? So good to be here.
Yay, Keith, what's up? God is up, my brother. God is up. That's what's up. At the Most High. Hey, where's that unicorn at, Keith? You seen the unicorn? Where's he at?
He was there.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, Uni?
Hey.
Hey, I understand you got some good news to tell us too tonight, man. You've been on some other people's platforms, right?
Oh, yeah. And you know, it's because it's like whatever you speak out of your mouth, you know, Ted, it comes into fruition. You've said it, you said it on your show tonight, that it's time that we make a national coalition of blacks that are like-minded to use the 14th Amendment properly. Well, since you spoke that, I have come into contact with some of the most incredible people, and I hope I've shared some of them with you.
Man, hey, look, brother, I am looking forward to that. And by the way, y'all, from what I understand, what Unicorn reported, these people that he met, these black folks now, they talking about doing a panel discussion this coming Saturday. So God willing, Keith and Ken gonna get on there and do the boogaloo on the.
We're gonna do it to it.
Hey, I'm messing with you. I'm sure there's some good brothers, man. But look here. Let's get to the surprise guest, y'all. Mike Jones, my man. Come on up here and talk to your people, brother. These are your people because
Hey,
you're the
now,
owner
hey,
of
now.
the show.
Thank
Talk
you
to
for
us,
having
Mike.
me. I really appreciate you having me. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
I appreciate you having us on today. And I got to give a shout out to you, Bob Smoke, and all the things that we have accomplished here and getting information out there, which is very important for our people.
Well, look here, man. You've been at this for quite a while. You ain't no Johnny come lately, dude. I know Smoke has been around for a bit, but what's motivated you to become the entrepreneur that you have become, and being able to allow a cat like me and Ken and Unicorn to a platform to speak to our people? What motivated you, brother?
Honestly, it was the upbringing. I was able and being blessed to be brought up by a village of entrepreneurs that raised me. So that village was, and we'll do pictures and stuff later on. But Kathy Hughes and Dick Gregory and Art McZear and Tony Washington. These are cats that, if you look up in Google, as which we do, these are very instrumental pioneers of. You got Cornell Jones, you got Butch McAdams. These are people that you really never hear about.
No,
Who
you're
would?
right. I mean, you're running about these lists right. The only name that I recognize, of course, is Kathy Hughes and my friend Dick Gregory, who everybody keeps thinking I'm him. Wherever I go, they say, "Man, you look like, are you Dick Gregory?" He says, "No, man." But the point is,
Yeah.
that's when I recognize you. Right? We don't know these names, man. Talk to us some more.
Let's even talk. Let's talk about Theodore White. Theodore White was the first. He was the first Bob Johnson. It was Channel 14. Channel 14. Theodore White. He was a mentor of me. You would never think if Stephen King stole his crap. Channel 5. If you go into Theodore White, WMTV Theodore White, you'll understand these were people look like us that actually created channels for wealth for us. And the history has been taken because it was a straight on fight. And one thing I'm very proud of Miss H about, I remember back in the
That's
day,
Kathy Hughes, right? Hughes. You
yeah,
got my
Kathy
audience is
Hughes.
new. We knew all these names, man.
Oh
So you gotta.
yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, Kathy Hughes. Look her up. Google her right now. Kathy Hughes created a whole communication network. And so I started with her when Radio One wasn't even formed. It was only like four stations.
Talk to us about Radio One, because most of us, because I got a growing audience, not only just black folks, but a lot of non-black people are starting to get hip to your power weapon. So you kind of have to be a little slow here. And what was that station?
So where it all began
Yes, sir.
was WOL. WOL, and you can hit WOL 1450 AM. That's where Miss H began. Actually, Dewey Hughes is actually the one who willed it or left it to her, and that's how Miss H began her empire. And then from there, what she began to put together was not just talk, but then she put together urban FM, um, adult contemporary, and things like that. So if you're really familiar with radio, you can understand that.
There she is, folks. That's Kathy Hughes. Beautiful woman, beautiful black woman.
Miss
Check
H,
her
yeah,
out.
Kathy Hughes, yes.
Go ahead.
So that's how it all began. That was back in. I came out of college, undergrad. I came out undergrad in '94, Frostburg State University, and so from straight out of in which It was a business administration, marketing concentration degree, and I went straight to Radio One.
Amazing, man. WOL. I've heard of WOL. In fact, I've been on WOL a couple of times. A cat named Carl Nelson. I think he used to be on KJLH out here in Los Angeles, Stevie Wonder station, front page.
Yeah. But in fact, you look much like Dick Gregory, who Miss H shared the chair with, and where it all began. You know what I mean? So that and not only do you look like him, however, you actually spare and share information like him, and where the whole information is power came into into fruition. It's what
fruition. Yes.
So
yeah, Dick Gregory, Mr. Gregory and I were friends, associates over the years, and whenever he see me out in the public, wherever, we always go up each other, shake hands, hug each other, and talk that talk and stuff like that. I remember one time he was at an event out at John Denver's ranch at Windsong, and he was up on the stage talking about all these crazy stuff going on in America, and Buzz Aldrin, who also knows, Buzz Aldrin was the second cat to walk on the moon. And so Buzz Aldrin was sitting next to me, kind of, and he got so mad at Dick Gregory, he jumped up and he said, "Gregory, I'm not going to take this anymore. I'm out of here." And he stormed out. Everybody kind of laughed and whatnot. But yeah, man, Dick Gregory was a great guy. And wherever I go, people ask me, you Dick Gregory. One time I was leaving Australia, going through customs. Lady said to me, "Mr. Gregory, we hope you had a nice time here in Australia." And I didn't have the heart to tell I wasn't Dick Gregory. But I was going to call Dick, but he left too quick. I said, "Hey, Dick, man, you got to start paying me, brother, because I'm keeping you on Front Street."
I'll put you in touch with his son, because his son is running his whole estate now.
Who's that now?
His son.
Oh, yeah?
They're running his estate, and which is very important for us. Legacy is very important for our Black community.
You think we can get him on You think we can get him on your power weapon some night?
That's a possibility. Sure.
I'm gonna look to you, man. I'm gonna look to you. But speaking of Australia, because we can go on with you, and then I hope you'll come back because we want to learn more, particularly about these. What you should do. I propose to you, my brother, and to Smoke. Why don't y'all create a Black Hall of Fame of entrepreneurs so that people can know, not only just in a museum someplace, but online, so people can know who these cats. I never heard of these people, man.
Well, and that's what you have heard of is Black Wall Street and the death and the destruction of it. You have not heard of the legacies that have grown from that and the smartness. Wow. One thing that we've always been a very smart, innovative folk. You know what I mean?
It had to be.
But what we created is never shared.
Right. And there's a great mystery behind that. And sometime in the future, I sure would like to share with everybody, because it's linked with the fact that 7,500 young Black men murder each other by gunfire every year. And it wasn't no white racist cop who told them to do it. You ask that brother, why'd you shoot that brother? Because I don't like that cat.
Let me ask you.
Yes, sir.
That is population control. So if they're trying to control our population, they've succeeded.
Absolutely.
Not only with that, they've conceded our population with abortion.
Absolutely.
So it's population control. So, but let me ask you this question. Are we ignorant enough to figure out that it is population control, and all the things that are happening right now could be our annihilation?
Brother, you nailed it on the head, because that's what I've been sounding out here now for 36 years as a homelessness activist. Homelessness is the most visible aspect of what you just talked about. And I tell people that the reason that there's so many homeless people that are Black out there is because of 403 years of unrequited injustice in this country. And that's why, we finally discovered this 14th Amendment thing in the Civil Rights Act of 1866, which is going to be our power to shake all this stuff up, But look, man, I want to segue here real quick, because we were talking about Australia. I've been there. I went there 3 times in 1 year in 2011. Beautiful place, man. Beautiful people. I play cricket down there, right? Beautiful place. Beautiful people. Now them cats have gone nuts.
Play cricket one day.
Oh, so what?
You got to teach me how to play cricket one day.
Brother, hey, listen, man, if you go to, I will do that. That's a commitment.
Okay.
If you go to Compton, y'all know Compton out in California, right? Compton
Yeah.
Cricket Club dot US. If you go there, you will see that we created the most famous homegrown American-born cricket team in the history of the United States, and I'm the godfather of the rebirth of American cricket. And we played in England 3 times, Australia once, and we played at Buckingham, right at the Queen's Castle. I mean, we can talk about that, but yeah. Anyway, we was in Australia playing cricket, and now it's turned Nazi with all these mandates, face covering, social distancing, the vaccine. Now, you and I was talking earlier, and Ken, I want you and Keith to begin to come in on some of this here because we was talking earlier about 70% of black folks are not taking the vaccine, and that and there's some legitimate reasons for that. And we want to get your take because you get around a lot of black folks, probably more than most of us, and a lot of influential people. What is your take on we're not questioning so much at this point the efficacy of the experimental drug. We're talking about the mandation of it. What's your take on this, Brother Jones?
Well, let's just say this. Now, the mandation is I don't agree with. And the reason why I don't agree with it, if you can't mandate abortion, then which is about my body. It's my body. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I have responsibility, obligation of my body,
yes,
and I have choice of my body. So
yes,
if you can't extend that type of mandate to that, then you can't extend it to this.
Yes,
it doesn't make sense to me. However,
yes,
I understand the efficacy, like you said, of the health and all those kind of things. From a mandate perspective, is bullcrap. You can't do it. Why would you do it? Why would and you have not mandated anything else?
Come on. You see, my brother and everybody out there, one of the things that I've been saying publicly, and I'll say it now, and I know they're listening to us, and that's cool. I ain't mad at nobody because I'm not, I don't hate nobody. I think it's just an evil spirit that has crept into the minds of some leading people in this country. But in their power intoxicated state, because when a person is drunk, they get stupid and make mistakes. They made the biggest mistake they could have ever made when they mandated this vaccine without considering its effect on people who have been experimented on for 403 years. That was total insensitivity to us from a person who said, if y'all don't vote for me, you ain't black, and that I love black people at the same time, and we fight for black folks. And yet we are told that if we do not take that experimental drug, we are evil, we're domestic terrorists, and we don't belong in restaurants and public places with the good people of America.
Well, let's look who told us or who said to you that you had to take it. Now, there was
Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump said that.
Well, Donald Trump didn't say you had to take it.
No, I just check it. I just check and see if you're on your toes. That's all.
He provided an opportunity for you to have something just like what do you guys remember something called penicillin?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So even though penicillin, and that's where the misnomer is mostly, the narrative is mostly controlled at. Do we understand? Because we talk about the syphilis program.
Yes, but you're focusing right now, ladies and gentlemen. What Mike Jones is about to bring up, I believe, is the thing that's got most of us out here hopping as black folks, is the so-called Tuskegee Experiments, which it wasn't Tuskegee itself; it was the federal government running it at Tuskegee. Am I correct, Mike?
It was, but it did happen. It did happen, but here's what happened. Why is it for us that same thing that they advertise each day to say, hey, we have an experiment for you to come. I'm going to pay you X amount of dollars to come and experiment these drugs to protest on this particular ailment or disease or whatever the case.
as
and
relates to this particular population, or what?
Well,
Or all
yeah.
population?
Well, if you look at Tuskegee, it was a specific population.
Okay.
But then when you look at the most current for it, I think it has to do with most users, and not, or it could be a population, and I don't know. I don't know that to be true, but I can say that when you do a survey, you may test 3 people that may speak for 1,000 people.
Got you.
So that's just probability. That's what
Right.
we talk about in a probability. So because we used to do the same thing when we used to test records.
Okay.
And when we used to test records, we used to have a survey of women, because women, whether it's radio, television, or women is the deciding factor. That's who you actually target. 18 to 54 or 54 to 64. Women, because they do everything. So meaning they decide what you buy, they can tell a male.
Pretty much, it's domestic engineers.
They so therefore, if it's them that say, okay, it's okay through a survey, I might have only got 3 okays from 10, but that's 30% of the population is saying to me that it's okay. So you got to understand the whole testing theory, the whole testing, when you talk about that. However, now when you go back, the problem with us is, when I say us, the people that's looking like me, looking like you, that kind of stuff.
Descendants of Choctaw slaves.
Well, where does knowledge come into play? Our descendancy and knowledge has to equal together, because our ancestors had a certain knowledge that we need in order to succeed today.
Yes, sir.
Where's that intersection? Where's that the knowledge? Because we always talk about racism.
Right.
That's a narrative that's always been controlled, because that's our Pablo dog.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to other. I'm sure I'm going to. But let me just bring it back. But when Moynihan talked about the black family.
Yes, you're talking about Senator Patrick Moynihan in the 1960s, folks. He was a senator from New York, a white dude. He was a Democrat, not a Republican. And he said that this welfare thing is going to destroy primarily black folks, but nobody going to pay him no attention. And so look and behold what has happened. The war on poverty became the war on black folks. And you see it out here, the fact that we make up 60% of the homeless population of America. We're only 11% of the general population. Here in LA, we make up 40% of the homeless population, and we're only 8 and 9% of the population. So that is the immediate direct consequence of what Senator Patrick Moynihan was talking about. But the curve? What was it called? The curve?
In addition, what the strong attack was the black family.
Exactly.
The black family is
war on black people.
Black family.
Yes, sir.
Because if you don't have a black family structure,
you got nothing.
Like the white structure, the Jewish structure, the Asian
Armenian,
structure, they
Japanese.
Always have the formula of the black family. So if you go back to even Obama, when the blacks didn't support Obama, this is probably what we talk about. However, when the blacks would support Obama, and he went to the Hollywood, and Hollywood said to you, in order for me to accept this whole thing and respond, you got to bring the gay marriage, which was a direct destruction of the black family.
And you can see it all over. You can see it everywhere. And they used the 14th Amendment, the Civil Rights Act of 1866, to let that go down. And our so-called African-American or American African leadership allowed that to happen. Let me segue on that, because you talked about the family. And Keith Hardeen, co-host Keith Hardeen, our constitutional lay expert here. Keith Hardeen, and everybody listening, we just saw down on the border, man. a bunch of folks run across here with their children, their babies, and send their kids across. And so the guy who said that if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. He and of course the very same people saved his president, because if it weren't for them black folks, he wouldn't be president right now, right? And now this very same cat who believes that in order for black people to even think about reparations, we got to go through H.R. 40 to investigate whether we should, whatever you believe reparations is relevant. The fact that there should be a payback of some sort of recognition for injustice. He said he wants to give people down there $450,000 per member, maybe over $1 million total, because we separated their families. Man, come on, Keith, talk to us.
Well, okay, our families are separated as well, and yet they don't talk about.
What you say? What you say about family? What that?
Families, our families have been separated.
What you talking about, man?
Yeah, right. Yeah, our families have been separated based on the policies of progressivism, which are Democrat mostly run. It is 99% Democrat run.
Just like all the urban centers are run by Democrats, right?
Right, that's right. And they are separating black families. They have been doing that since the New Deal. And yet, there's no talk about reparations for blacks in that sense.
Now go on, man.
No, that's what I was about to say. That's all I can say is it's plain. It's very clear to anyone who's looking.
Well, see, the thing about it was, we today, even though we had some semblance of black family post 1865, when we were liberated from slavery, all the way up to 1964-65, when they put in that economic recovery act, whatever the Democrats put in back in that day, our families were constantly separated, not just in one incident, but for 245 years. 4.5 generations of a 40-year period generation, our families were summarily separated anytime massa felt to do so. And then yet when people say, well, can you make a reparation? They say, well, we got to do a study first. But yet when these people come across the border illegally, felons breaking the law, we're going to give them money? Hey, unicorn. Kenny, White, tell me something. What is the difference when a black man or a white person commits a crime, robs a bank, goes to trial, found guilty? The cat said, I robbed, Your Honor, because I had 12 children and they was hungry. The judge said, I don't care. You broke the law. You're going to jail. But he said, but Judge, you're going to separate me from my family? Well, now, talk to us, Ken White. Come on, unicorn. Stick it to him, brother.
Well, first of all, let me say to Mike Jones, it's an honor to be on your platform. This is a really good platform, and that it was fused by an African-American entity gives me boasting power, because this is a good system. This is as good as anything Zuckerberg has made. So thank you very much for that, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We just got to support it. We just got to support it, Bob. We just got to support it with Bob.
I'm not able to hear him.
I don't know. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
I can't hear him. I
hear you, Keith.
Can you guys hear me?
Well, I wanted to go back to what you said. I wanted to go back to he can't hear me. I wanted to go back to what you said, Ted. You was saying that it's the system, in which I understand, but it's the system, and whereas the African American plight is today. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir. This systems are built from habit, from habitual doing the same thing, rolled over and over and over until it becomes an institution. That's why they call chattel slavery a peculiar institution, because it was just that. It's like you didn't question chattel slavery like you don't question American baseball. It's just an institution, and let
me ask that. You said American baseball.
For an example.
Prime example. For example, was a prime example. But do we know who was the father of American baseball was? Do you know who that is?
Well, they say it was a guy by the name of General
no
Appleby or something or another like that. That's what I heard.
No. Rube Foster.
Okay.
Rube Foster is the one who created the slide, the stealing home from third base. He's the one he was the inventor of the Negro League.
Oh, okay, that makes sense to me.
But how it all happened, how American baseball came, because remember, back then there was a white league and a black league.
That's right. It should have stayed that way too.
However, what happened was, as it did anything else, what happened was Rube was filling the stadiums. What he did was the New York baseball owners and all. He told the owners, "Hey, look, when you are away, let me host baseball games because you're not making any money when you're away." They were selling out.
Selling out the house.
Included the whole entertainment side of and so American baseball, because baseball was back when the Negro League, it was an entertainment situation. It entertained because blacks at their time didn't have much of things to go into. The athletes couldn't do much. But here's an example of stealing our crap, and no one knows the truth about Rube Foster.
Right.
You can Google Rube Foster and it will tell you. They just did, actually, the United States just did a mint. They're about to do a mint for Rube Foster. I'm a part of the whole Rube Foster legacy. With the whole with Bob and everybody out, and I think it's Cleveland. Whereas we're doing a whole. However, these are the type of stories, because we always hear what we are not able to do.
Hey, y'all. There he is. That's the man, Rube Foster. Look, I see where Babe Ruth got his style from.
They stole baseball from him. America white baseball was stole from that guy sitting right there. Do the research. Understand what we ask. So I don't take when you say, and we presume to be ignorant on anything. We are much smarter than how we act.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. But what I was getting at is we hear so much talk today about systemic racism. They blame the fact that black folks are the majority of homeless because of systemic racism. They blame the fact that the police kill black men because systemic racism. The reason that black men are killing each other by the hundreds, by the thousands every year, systemic racism. The reason our economic is systemic racism. The reason why we die from COVID more than anybody else because of our health habits, systemic racism. And that's absolutely correct. That's why I am not against critical race theory per se. The only thing about critical race theory that I am against is this whole idea that human beings are born evil and racist and can't be redeemed. That's where that whole Black Lives Matter thing slid off the rail. But let's go back to Smoke Engineer. We lost the Unicorn. Unicorn, you back?
Am I back? Can you hear me?
There he is, man. Get that unicorn horn going.
Well, watch this. I'm gonna try to paraphrase it. Mike Jones, maybe you guys can correct me if I get it wrong. But in regards to, the reparations and how Biden wants to give the illegals, money and stuff, I'm going to do a paraphrase here. The Republicans and the Democrats were evenly divided. It was your vote that put the Democrats in office. And now that they are in office, they done went through everything that they want to get done and got it all out the way and did all the stuff they want to do. And now they think about you.
Teach.
Now they turn to you.
Teach.
And they tell you that they got to do a study to get you reparations.
Teach.
While Biden is arbitrarily, with a pen and a phone, giving away $500,000 of tax money.
Teach.
So to the blacks who are following that type of doctrine with an okie dokie mindset, if you vote for Democrats, you're not only a chump, you're a traitor to your race.
Well, to your point on that. But we saw this. I mean, we saw it. Because anything Trump, we was messed up.
Well, he's an evil orange man. He's an evil orange man. Come on.
Can I say something about that real quick? Let me just say this real quick. If you wanted
Biden's man was Thorne. I'm sorry.
Go. Hey, Mike, say it again. Go ahead, Mike.
Biden's man was Trump. Who was his mentors? All of was a Ku Klux Klan.
Oh man, y'all need to quit.
40 years.
No, man, come on, wait a minute. That's the Republicans, man. That's the Republicans started the Ku Klux Klan and lynched niggas, man. That wasn't the Democrats. Where y'all getting your information? That's misinformation, man.
Well, I'm misinformed because I thought it was the Dixiecrats. I thought it was the Dixiecrats that was down southern that wanted to make sure they maintained slavery. Only not because they hated blacks, because it was a part of their wealth.
Well,
so that's what they call. Right. I mean, in that sense, it wasn't a black or white thing. And it's never been a black or white thing. It's a money thing.
Teach my brother. We will come out. That's why I said earlier, y'all gonna learn. Everybody's coming to Your Power Weapon, UrbanSmartNetwork.com. By the way, this is Ted, your host of the Urban Smart Network, Your Power Weapon.
That's right.
Y'all gonna learn that the chattel slave descendants, through the 14th Amendment and the Civil Rights Act of 1866, you're gonna learn that we are America's living national treasure. Because if we die, America dies. It's very clear in the Constitution of the United States that that's who we are. And y'all gonna learn that stuff, all right? Ken, we ran you off there, Ken. Finish your point, please.
Well, can I just say this before let me just say this.
No, you the boss, man. Have your way, sir.
No, but you're preaching to us. We're the ones that have to figure out that we are the leaders here. Killing each other, doing all these things. It's detriment. Listen, population control. Just do your research. We on killings for each other, on abortions for each other. They've controlled. The Hispanics have come up and doubled our population.
Yeah,
doubled.
Yeah.
What does that mean on our spending? They doubled. Now we have been in the same population for the last 40 years. We've been at the same population. Is that population control?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Control.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, Bob. I'm getting off because.
No, you're good. Hey, Mr. Urban Smart Network, you good with us, okay? Because you provide this platform to teach. Ken, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say real quick. If you wanted to give a man a cold, if you wanted to make sure he got the flu, what you would do is you would tell him that the orange umbrella ain't no good. Don't use that orange umbrella. That thing is bad for you. And then he would sit there and make it rain.
I think they did that to the Indians. When they said that blanket gonna be really nice and warm. Go ahead.
That's right. And it didn't work.
Blanket gonna be nice.
It didn't work.
Y'all need to quit.
What I'm saying is they have conditioned our people to look at the one man that I've seen in many years, President Donald J. Trump, with the Platinum Program. Mike Jones, are you familiar with his Platinum Program that he was trying to put out?
Which one is that?
The $500 million
Platinum Program.
The 54, I think it was a 554 million.
Yes.
Wow. That we was like this. Now
he was gonna hook us up.
What Biden gonna do? Let's see what Biden.
Biden gonna open up the border and let him come get our reparation. Hey, let me segue over here to Keith Hardeen real quick. We talk about the 14th Amendment, Civil Rights Act of 1866, your power, quotation weapon, and everybody's hollering Constitution. I'm sorry
about that. We turned down a lot of money. That was we turned down a lot of money.
Quite a business interest was there. And you have to ask the question, where was the Congressional Black Caucus and the African American leadership? They let that stuff get right past us, and Biden ain't gave us diddly squat. He ain't done a doggone thing for us. He's done everything for the refugees, for the immigrants, for the this, but it's like we don't exist.
Well, you say Congressional Black Caucus. Where they been for the last 40 years?
I don't know, brother.
You got Marlboro, sugar, everything that sponsors them when they have their congressional that they won't speak against. That's killing our communities.
Is that what's going on? That these corporations invest in their annual show over there in D.C. called the Congressional Black Caucus Conference or something like that?
I wish I had a Coca-Cola to show you. I could be one of their. They'd be like, they're Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola.
Really? Is it that bad? Is it that bad, y'all?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's that bad. It's that
But
bad.
Keith, Keith, what's up on the Constitution when all this is happening down there on the border and making black folks, well, everybody get these mandates? Where's the Constitution, man?
The Constitution is irrelevant to these people. Their whole goal, their agenda is to destroy America. They want to take America down. The principles that made America great, the principles that freed us from slavery, the principles that won our independence from Great Britain mean nothing to the left, means nothing to Biden and those people. And they are deceiving blacks into following their lead right off the cliff.
Well, Keith, Keith, we were Chattatown slaves for 245 years. It took a war to stop that madness. Then we got another 99 years of Jim Crow and black code and all that kind of mess. Why should we, black citizens, hold to the Constitution, which, by the way, says that we're only 3/5 of a human being, and we're really not mentioned in the Constitution? So why should we embrace that, brother?
Well, that's because the Constitution does apply to us. We got the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment because of the 3/5 clause. The 3/5 clause did not refer to us as human beings, 3/5 of a person. It was referring to a numeral. It was a number of representative and representation, and blacks were represented at the time. Not all blacks, but the free blacks. And it's interesting to note that there were free blacks at the same time that there were slave blacks in this country. To say that the whole country is systemically racist is a little bit incorrect, because there would not be a single free black in this country if that were true. And there would not be a single black slave owner if that were true. But there were black slave owners as well.
Oh my God!
Who making all that noise? That's you. Who making all that noise over here?
Can't talk about that. Was the real Uncle Tom. Call him out the way you need to call him out. Those are real Uncle Tom. Why we never hear about? But why is it that we never hear about the black? Because we all know. Oh, we know, but we don't want to admit
it. We're in denial, brother. We're in denial.
That there were black slave owners that were vicious. They treated us pretty bad. People that look like them.
They were the worst.
Maybe that's the problem. Why we can't get along, because we can't accept the truth.
That's right. Yep. That's right. Hey, that's why I said. Remember that? Was it Bang Django? With Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, I love that movie. I loved it, man. It was pretty close to accurate, And they showed how the black, that Negro, that black man, he was out there with the white man hunting down blacks, trying to collect slaves like cattle and property. So it was a black.
But why won't we ever bring that conversation up?
I'll tell you why. Because God willing, folks, and you've heard me say this before, is my objective. If God blesses me with a national platform, I'm going to get black folks to have a conversation with ourselves without including the white man in the conversation. And we're going to go back to ground zero. We're going to go back to Africa in our minds. We're going to go back to all this stuff happened before we knew we was black. We didn't know we was black until we saw white folks out there purchasing us. And we're going to go back and we're going to talk about what was it about all those different kingdoms, all those different empires, Ghana, Mali, Songhay, Benin, Soso. What happened to Timbuktu, Djenne, and Gao, and all those wonderful places of gold in West and Central Africa? What happened to us? How is it that the Almoravids and the other Arabs could swing down from North Africa across the Sahara Desert with thunder sticks and take our people out and enslave our people? What is it about us as a people that we say we believe God? What happened? Why would God allow this atrocious behavior to come upon us. See, there is a great mystery there. And why is it that when the slaves were brought by fellow black people from the interior out to the exterior to the sand to be purchased, the slavers would say, the merchant would say to the white slave owner or merchant, whether he's a Jew or a Christian or European American, they say, see that black man right there? Yes. And see that one right there? Yes. Chain those two together. Oh, yeah, I'll do it. But why? They hate each other. They hate each other for hundreds of years. They would rather fight each other than to unite and take you out, sir. So you mix them up. And see, as a people, a warrior class people of the father motherland, we never reconciled and made peace with ourselves. You don't believe me? You don't believe me? We hollered and got the whole world to holler. Black Lives Matter. The whole time we was hollering Black Lives Matter, niggas was out here shooting each other down and white folks scratching their heads saying, what is going on? And I know what's going on. We need to make peace with ourselves. We are in denial.
Amen.
If I get the national platform, that's what we're gonna do.
It's coming. It's happening. It's in the making. You know, it's coming. All I can say is what I'm seeing and hearing, even in this group right now, is the nucleus for something America hasn't seen in forever.
Come on, Kenny, let me segue for a little slight seg here. Now, we talked about racism. And white people primarily, right? And how white people are racist. And there are a lot of white racist people. I ain't denying that. But a lot of white folks in this country, even former racists, have come a long way towards us. Keith, can you was on a white man's radio show, big time cat. He allowed your black ass to come on and represent him. Talk to us about that, We got about 12 minutes. Talk to us about that real quick, and then we're gonna segue back to Joe.
That's the thing, and you know, I'm sure Mike Jones and my brother Keith Hardeen, you guys are going to resonate with what I'm saying. I am a man who happens to be black. I don't live my life as a black man.
Come on.
That's an ideal that is not for us at this point in this journey into America. We're kind of too far away from where we used to be to even allow that to be an ideal, because like you said, we're not cohesive. So the bottom line is, when I go into business meetings, and I'm sure all of us are the same with that, I don't go into a business meeting as a black man. I go in with my imprimatur. I go in with my price being right. Excuse
me. What is imprimatur?
Imprimatur.
Come on, man.
Come on, Keith. Tell them
this is supposed to be educational too. Now,
with you.
What's that big word?
It's your history. It's your legacy. It's your stamp.
Say it again.
Who you are. It's your brain.
Say it again. What is it? What's that word?
It's your history. It's your legacy. It's the stamp of who you are, the quality and excellence of who you are. Your imprimatur.
What is that word you said?
Imprimatur. Imprimatur.
Imprimatur.
Yes, sir.
Not martyred, but imprimatur.
Yes, sir. Imprimatur.
Continue, sir.
And so when a friend of mine fell ill with COVID-19, the same thing that tried to take me out, and thank you, Lord God, for letting me stay a little while longer. When he fell ill, with his big platform, they were like, hey, you can't do your show. Who can we pick to do your show? And he said, you go find that Kenny White and get him on my show.
Wow.
And I was honored. And, recognizing, I think I'm the first African-American to ever appear on this show.
Stop it.
I told him, I said, a radio show is like an F-15 and F-20. It's your baby. So I'm like, okay, you're sick. You got to sit down. I'm going to sit in the cockpit of your F-18 and I'm going to fly the hell out of your plane, but I won't put one scratch on it. So I would almost invite everybody to go to the Ed Hoffman, the main event show for the last 2 weeks, because the Holy Spirit put it on me to warn people about this, trying to take Rittenhouse out, trying to call him a racist. I said, remember in Texas, a young black man was angry about how black men were treated. He walked up to the Texas police and started flat blasting everybody. Was he a black racist? Was he a black supremacist? I said, you got to watch out, because God is doing to us what Moses said to the Pharaoh. He said, the next curse that comes on your people will come out of your mouth. Mm-hmm. So there's Al Sharpton and all these black people hoping in justice on Rittenhouse. And what happened? What happened? A black man gets in his car and starts running everybody down. Is he a black supremacist? Where's the cry for justice for
No,
that?
there was something wrong with the car.
What?
The accelerator got stuck. See, that's what they trying to say. It was, whereas that cat in Charlotte, he was a white racist that drove that car, killed one person, but this cat is
But
not.
but do you see how God is going? He's going this for that. If you're going to call this, what are you going to call that?
Take him in all craftiness, he does. Yes, sir, Mr. Jones.
So why aren't we calling out him?
Well, because we don't have that, and what we want to do here in your power.
Everybody,
we want to build that body politic.
Everybody can call him out.
Everybody can, but they won't.
He's a black supremacist.
My question is, why aren't we calling him out?
That's a good point.
Why? Here's a question too. If we gonna really get real with us, you just saw the report on Malcolm X.
Yes.
Just saw, and we know the truth.
Yes.
But why aren't the blacks having a discussion on it?
We need to do just like they did you hear what's his name, Jay-Z. He keeps trying to illuminate to Wakanda. I told him, I said, you're unworthy to speak the name Wakanda.
But he ain't even having he's from New York, where Malcolm was from.
Thank you.
No one is having that discussion.
Man.
Even that dude right there. Black
no
supremacy.
one. Why no one's having a discussion? Why is no one calling that out? Why?
Are them dreadlocks? Are them dreadlocks?
No, you know what? Those aren't locks. That's what they call those, a twist or something like that.
Twist?
It don't even matter. That dude right there is nuts.
Crazy.
What he did was nuts.
But clearly,
that's what I'm saying. We are in a moment in time where the conversation we are having, the Holy Spirit is working with us, because I told everybody, be careful what you're talking about with Rittenhouse, because the last black supremacist, you got mad when the black chief of police sent a robot drone to that brother and dropped a bomb on him. They said, that
was a move back in Philadelphia. I remember that.
I'm a double PK. I'm a double PK.
What's a PK?
Know what it is? Preacher's kid.
Okay.
I'm a double that.
Okay.
So when you tell me works without, what is it?
Faith.
Works
without faith is dead.
Work without action is dead.
Yeah.
Right.
We talk about a lot of things. We don't do anything.
But we've been ready
getting ready. Yeah, okay. The last time we tried to do something with Al Sharpton put Negro to bed. Nigga, they tried to have. Remember, they tried to have the funeral.
They try to kill nigga. They try to kill nigga. Try to bury nigga.
Remember, they tried to kill nigga.
You can't kill nigga, man. Come on.
You know why they couldn't kill nigga? Because they.
Tell me why.
Al Sharpton lost his credibility with Warner Bros.
They couldn't kill nigga.
Why couldn't kill nigga?
Because hip hop, Coca-Cola, Seagrams, gin, everybody came in and said, "Wait a minute. I'm gonna pay you X, Y, Z, so we ain't gonna kill nigga." You know what he said? We ain't killing nigga today.
That ain't gonna bury him. Hey, listen, man.
We ain't gonna bury nigga. We ain't doing nothing with nigga. You give me this money. Say all the niggas you want. Say all the niggas you want. I don't care.
Oh, y'all killing me. Hey, turn this thing off.
Look at what they did to my boy Chappelle.
What?
Chappelle trying to speak truth, and they came at him. They haven't at that brother.
But Chappelle put on a shiny pair of combat boots and stuck that boots up their ass.
That's why I'm saying, how can they stop it? How can they stop it?
They can't if we walk bold in your face.
Because they're gonna stop us with the scared Negroes.
What's he?
Gonna be like, nah. That's all right. I ain't messing with this situation. You're right.
That one, yeah, that guy. Yeah, you're right. That one.
Hey.
You made me drop my phone.
Keith, you were gonna say something, man. You got what? Keith, what's up, host?
Oh, I'm enjoying this. I'm listening to you guys, man. You guys got it together here. I agree with everybody's saying. So go for it. Keep it going.
Well, it goes back to why is this going on? Because like it or not, we need leadership. All people need leadership. Stuff about you can lead yourself. That's bogus, man. We need leadership.
Yeah.
That's propaganda. leadership. Picture a person. Picture you in the ocean holding on to a log or a board, and it's got spinners all under your arm, and it's killing you. If you're holding on for dear life in that water, somebody comes along with a boat and say, "Hey, man, why don't you let go of that log? That ain't doing you no good. In fact, it's hurting you. Let go of that log." You're not gonna let go of that log. Why? Because that's all you got. But now, if the person says, "Let go of the log because I got a rope and a ring here to toss you to come on aboard my boat," you're gonna let go of that log. Our people do not have an option. Every black person I know and have spoke to left and right have said we ain't got no leadership. We are out here by ourselves. And everybody that's non-black recognizes that, and they're taking full advantage of us. But you know what? This COVID mandate, what these drunk people messed up and made, has drawing black folks in this country, black citizens, light-skinned, dark-skinned, Republican, Democrat, rich, poor, famous, homeless, ice freaking cube, okay? Have coalesced. Our job at Your Power Weapon at urbansmartnetwork.com is to formulate a structure of leadership and a direction to bring us together. And pretty soon, give me another couple days, I'm going to send it to y'all. I started writing already a manifesto resolution that will unite us all and have us speaking on one voice and one page. And then we just got to figure out a way how to put that before the president of the United States or whoever's running the president behind the curtains. And then we get this out to the whole public, and we couple that with educating people about this right here. You got 14th Amendment. If you don't know your citizenship, you got no business on the playing field.
Hey, Ted.
Hey, Keith.
You have a few minutes. You got enough time to I wanted to ask your special guest what his opinion on that. Remember, because you just reminded me, Ice Cube. You remember when Trump was in power and Ice Cube went to Trump, and Trump, revealed his plan for blacks. Ice Cube said at least he's got, and then all of a sudden he sort of backed off. What is his opinion on that? What happened on that?
Mr. Jones.
It was Ice Cube. Yeah.
Mr. Jones.
Is he gone? He's gone. What happened, Smoke? Oh boy.
He fell off the stream.
How'd that happen? Okay.
Don't know.
Okay, well look, man, we got 3 minutes left here. And before we go, I just want to tell everybody, please see us, tell your friends. Great broadcast tonight. We really appreciate co-owner of Urban Smart Network, Mr. Mike Jones, for gracing us with his presence, here tonight. I tell you, Mr. Jones, y'all, our stock, Your Power Weapon, has just gone up quite significantly. So go to my website, also, mattersofblacklives.com, and you can, if you want to know more about who I am, just Google Ted Hayes. You're going to get a head full of stuff. And don't forget to Urban Smart Network. Go like us, Twitter, Facebook, social media. Tell your friends. We're going to see y'all back here. Keith, last word. Come on, Ken. Both Keith first, then Ken.
Well, I want to see what other people think of that. I want to see what Ken thinks of my question, and also, well, we'll do that later.
Yeah, we'll catch you next week.
Yeah, and what Smoke thinks.
Well, real quick, what I'm going to capitalize on is Mike Jones. Mike Jones said that a lot of people are scared to risk their monies.
Yes.
These celebrities and all of that. So for a moment there, let's just say Ice Cube got cold feet.
Ice Cube got cold feet?
Yeah.
No, he turned down that job.
No. He turned back around, and he's got bass in his voice now. But what Keith Hardeen is saying is there was a moment when he was actually conferring with President Trump, and he went lukewarm on the president. He backed off.
Oh, yeah. Well, same thing with Steve Harvey. All the rest of them, man, did the same old thing. You know what? Listen, we got to talk about this next show. Folks, hey, this is ground zero. The uniting force of we the people, black, white, brown, red, yellow. We don't care who you are. You love red, white, and blue. You American, me and you. And we're going to see y'all next Monday night on urbansmartnetwork.com. Your power, quote, weapon.